Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about dating a colleague, yes or no. So I think there's definitely more reasons against to dating a colleague than there is to dating a colleague. So basically I'm going to go through my points on why you shouldn't date a colleague. So the first one is it's very likely that you'll be a subject to gossip in your workplace if you start dating a colleague. Okay. And what I mean by that is that, if you start dating someone, word gets around basically. And I personally don't really like being in the middle of gossip. I don't like people gossiping about me. I try to avoid any kind of drama like that, and I try not to put myself in any kind of situation where there's a lot of drama. I try to stay uninvolved. If there's gossip around, I'm just a general stand on, the sides and observe. I don't want to be right in the middle of it. I don't want to be subject to it. And of course, you might be different. Perhaps you don't mind that. Perhaps you don't mind the fire of that, basically, which is fine. But you gotta keep in mind that they've got the person that you like, the person that you may date in the office or wherever it is that you're working. They're gonna have friends, their work friends, and they may talk about you to them, or they may just be you two might be dating, and then people find out about it and things like that. So it can be quite exhausting if you're in a situation where there's a lot of gossip. Now, I had a situation sort of like this. There was a girl that I liked at a workplace, probably about 7 years ago or something like that. And I asked her out. I didn't ask her out at work, but I asked her out outside of work. And word got around. She told other people basically about it. And, that didn't sit well with me. At all very well. I didn't find there was much integrity in that. And what you got to realize is that, because I thought it was just a conversation between us, but really what happened was she went and told other people as well. So it's like I thought that was just between us. So don't assume that it's just going to be between you, right? Don't assume that people have the same integrity and honor as what you do. And even though it's you're someone who likes to keep things to yourself and just keep it between the two people in question, if it's a colleague, it's you don't know if they're going to say anything to them, especially to other people that you work with. You just don't know, basically. I didn't think that would happen, but it did. I thought it was just a conversation between us two, but it wasn't, and other people found out about it, and it was kind of it was annoying and very gossipy, and I didn't like it. I didn't like being in that gossipy sort of like situation. I was like, oh god. And then I just never spoke to that girl again, basically. So another thing is that other colleagues may get in the way. So if other people do find out about the fact that you two are dating, find out about this relationship, it may be the case that you don't know if any people like them. There could be someone, you might have, you might be dating someone, but someone else in the office may have a crush on them, and then they may try and sabotage things. They might be a snake in the grass and try and ruin what you two have. So that's another thing that you have to consider as well. There may be people that are trying to put a wedge in between you two. There might be some people there that are rooting for you, that really want to see you do well in that relationship, but there may also be others that are trying to get in the way because they want to get in their pants too, basically. So you need to be very careful about that. And they may make up lies about you. They may say things like, oh yeah, they've cheated on every single person they've been with, and it may put that person off of you. And then one day what you'll basically see, you're the person that you're dating will suddenly ghost you, and it's all because someone got in the way and started making lies about you or making up stuff about you because they just wanted to get in their pants too. So you got to be aware of that. Now, of course, it might not be that. It might just be that they might just not like you in some way. It might be like some sort of vendetta against you and they're trying to sabotage things. Or they're just being nosy and getting involved and being gossipy and trying to cause drama, trying to stir the pot basically because they're bored and they hate their jobs and they've got nothing better to do at work. they've got nothing better to do at work basically. So, you need to be wary of that. Other colleagues may get in the way and it's annoying and you don't want that to happen to you. So that's another reason why dating a colleague is not a good idea, because other people just stick their oar in, they've all got an opinion, and it's just not fun, right? So another reason why dating a colleague isn't a good idea is because it can be seen as unprofessional. Now, obviously, it's really unprofessional if, let's say, someone is a higher up and they are dating someone lower down in the job. Let's say a supervisor starts dating a newbie or something like that. It's just really unprofessional. and it just doesn't look very good. And it can seem exciting to the people that are involved. It can seem really passionate and things like that. And it's just not great. It's just really unprofessional. And this was something that I noticed. So like a few summers back, just before I met my wife, actually, I was working at a place, and this young girl came up to me. She was probably about 18 years old, and she was telling me about how she was having an affair, or she had an affair the previous summer with one of the supervisors. And this supervisor was nearly 10 years older than them. And it was just really weird. And I was just like, dude, that's not cool, man. I was like, no. And then this was a supervisor that I sort of respected, that I thought was really cool. And then I just didn't see them the same way after that. And I was like, it just left a bad taste in my mouth, basically. I was like, nah, mate, that's not cool. That's not good. But I can see how it was exciting for them. She was yeah, it was really fun. It was really exciting. It's I couldn't stop thinking about them, and I couldn't believe it when it happened. I was like, oh my god, it's happening. I'm in a relationship with them now. I can't believe it. We're dating. We're seeing each other. When really it was just sort of I could see it from a different point of view, because I could see that this person, this supervisor, then ditched them eventually, and it was just really sad, because it was dude, they just used you. They really did. This supervisor used you. But, it was what it was. But it was so unprofessional, and it just made me think of that supervisor so much differently. And I was like, I don't respect you anymore. What? I don't even want to listen to you. You're just wrong, basically. But, that's my opinion. It just went against my sort of ethics and stuff like that. So, it was obviously fun for them. But it felt like that supervisor was using that poor girl. But yeah, what can you do? These sort of things happen, unfortunately. But again, it looks unprofessional. It's not cool, basically. So another reason why dating a colleague is not a good idea is because you can't escape each other if things go sideways. Now, obviously, you can leave your job, but it would be, or they could leave their job, but obviously it's going to be really difficult, and it's going to be annoying, especially if you already like your job, right? So, just imagine you find a good job, you start dating someone at your workplace, and then you two break up, or something happens and it's really dramatic, and now you can't escape each other, right? Because you're in the same job and you don't want to leave your job. And again, it's just going to be a lot of gossip, it's in that kind of situation. Now, it could be the case that everything works out and everything works out fine, that's great. But you have to take these things into consideration as well, where things are not going to work out, and and you can't escape each other, basically. Or you have to leave that job, and it was a job that you really loved, and it was a job that you really enjoyed doing. So, you have to take that into consideration as well. You won't be able to escape each other unless you actually leave. And you might be leaving a situation that you thought was really good and a job that you really liked, which would be very, very sad. Okay. So one of the best. So this is my 4 dating a colleague, right? And that is convenience. It's so easy to meet people, especially if you work in a big company where there's new people coming in all the time and people leaving and things like that. It's really easy to date someone who is someone that you see every day. It's easy to communicate with them. It's easy to meet with them face to face, that kind of stuff. When you're in a situation like that, when it's a colleague, it's very easy to talk to them. It's very easy to get their number. It's very easy. So the best thing about dating someone who is a colleague is that it's very, very convenient, and it's just very easy. But that's about it. And I assume, if it does work out, then it's fine as well, because I know a lot of people meet their spouses at work, things like that. But again, it can be difficult. It can turn sideways, and if it does turn sideways, you can't escape each other. You're subject to gossip, and it's just annoying, right? Now, again, though, it is convenient. It's a convenient way to meet people, but it's up to you what you do, obviously. I'm not saying, if you, because you might be the exception. It might be the fact that you meet someone at work and it works out really well, which is great, and you end up together and you stay together, which a lot of people do when they meet people at work. But it also could turn around the other way, and it could go really sour really, really fast. So you have to be very wary, you have to be very careful, and you have to know the person that you're dating at work really well, because you don't know if they're, gossiping behind your back. You don't know who else they've told, things like that. So that's just something else to consider. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.